Welcome, many thanks indeed for calling through on this Monday evening, previewing all the action for Tuesday. Got some big ammunition to you, it's all free of charge tonight, coming up to you loud and clear from my office here. And I tell you, I've got two big bets at Garton Park over there in Ireland, my first Irish bets of the week. I'm going to be giving them out first on this telecast. The horses concerned run early in the 1:30 and also in the 3:30, priced at around about 8 to 1 and 10 to 1. So they pay about 80 to 1 the double. But more important, if you back either of them individually, you'll come up trumps and collect a nice tidy profit on more Irish winners. So those two are going to come out first to bat on this message, on this telecast. And then what I'm going to do is give you a maximum bet at Newcastle on a horse around about 5 to 1 that I've been waiting for, and it's now running, and it runs on Tuesday, and I'm going maximum on that each way. And then if that's not enough, I've got 3 all-weather bets besides that one at Newcastle, that maximum, that are attractively priced at 6 to 1, 13 to 2 and 7 to 1. So if you want to have a lucky 15 on the UK bets, the English bets, not bad. 5 to 1, 6 to 1, 13 to 2 and 7 to 1. Very, very nice prices, and you can have your singles, doubles and trebles, or you can just back them as you go along in the afternoon session. But I'm going to open up with the two horses at Garton Park, which is a meeting that I've really had some huge success in the past with, I can tell you, and I'll be disappointed if we don't connect tomorrow. These races at Garton Park are big fields as usual, these handicaps. 19 runners go in the 3:30, but my idea of the winner here is number 8. It's called Tasty. Tastye. Trained by David Kenneth Budds, not a name known to too many people, rather an unfashionable trainer, but he has trained a few winners, and I think he could train another with this filly, this 4-year-old, called Tasty. It's number 8, ridden by Mark Enright, veteran jockey there, who replaces Joey Sheridan, who's rode it the last couple of times. Indeed, a little bit overweight last time, Sheridan, put up 2 pounds. And Tasty ran an absolute blinder. That was at Cork, finishing 5th of 23 runners. It was a really good performance that day. And this horse has had very valid excuses why it's not actually connected yet. It is a maiden. It's not hit the back of the net yet, but every dog has its day, or every horse can strike. And this filly now runs off a mark of 48. It's the lowest mark she's had, and I believe she's on a winning mark, and she's coming to hand, no question about that. It's a £10,000 handicap. I know that the stable would love to win it, and I know that Tasty, number 8, has the form to win it. They're paying out first 5 on this race, and I'll be bitterly disappointed if Tasty isn't there at the finish, the business end of things, right at the forefront. Number 8, Tasty, in the 3:30 at Garton Park. I do like it an awful lot. As I say, it's been brought along quite steadily, not had been overfaced and not ran too often. It ran in April, May, June, August and then September. But I think she's ready to strike now. It's the end of the season. It's a perfect time for her, and I think she's ready. Number 8, she's running off a lowest mark. Ran really well last time up. The jockey had a couple of pound overweight, else it probably would have just about won. But it finished 5th, and I think she's ready. Number 8, Tasty, and that'll do for me in the 3:30 Garton Park. It's your first bet of the day for Tuesday, and remember that's the 18th of October. Right, the second bet also runs at Garton Park, you'll be pleased to know, because my Irish horses really have been firing on all cylinders and striking, almost 50% win and place on all Irish horses, which is astronomical considering the average price of picking Ireland is around about 10 to 1 as well. That's over the last 2 years. So some serious Irish winners have been on these lines, and I can tell you I'm looking forward to another big push in the next 3 months or 2.5 months before the new year. It doesn't matter to me if it's flat or jumps. I'm still picking really big prices in handicaps, and they're the horses that I focus on, and they're the races I focus on to get you these big price winners we need and we love so much. So let's go to Garton Park, shall we, for the 1:30, and number 10 here, it's called Duke of Legger. It's got 6 noughts next to its name. Naught. Trained by Michael Mulvaney, another unexposed trainer, or certainly a trainer not so household name. But Billy Lee is, and Billy Lee takes them out, having rode this horse, this gelding, a couple of outings ago. And I tell you, the horse last time out was ridden by Gary Carroll at Navan, and I know that the horse certainly wouldn't have been suited by the trip last time, just over 5.5 furlongs. It goes back up to 7 on soft ground. It's absolutely pitch perfect. And although it's got 6 zeros next to its name, it has dropped 4 pounds in the weight. So that's a considerable amount since its last run. Gary Carroll's been replaced by Billy Lee. Billy, one of the best in the business. And number 10, Duke of Legger, is my idea of the winner in the 130 at Garton Park. A 15-runner handicap, the payout first 4, and number 10, Duke of Legger, I think it's got to be there or thereabouts, and I'll be disappointed if it doesn't win. It's a pretty competitive event. I think they're betting about 5 to 1 the field, but I think Duke of Legger has got all the form in the book. It's dropped 4 pounds, and now's the time it can strike. Number 10, Duke of Legger in the 130 at Garton Park. It's your second bet of the day to follow up Tasty in the 330 at Garton Park. That's my first bet of the day for Tuesday, both in Ireland and both at the Garton Park GP. Right, let's move Newcastle now and Kempton. Let's go all-weather hunting, shall we, for winners? And let's start with a maximum bet. Then I'll give you these 6 to 1, 7 to 1s, which are running at Newcastle and at Kempton. But first of all, I want to take you to the meeting at Newcastle for a maximum bet running in an apprentice handicap. And a tricky little event on paper, but the horse I'm very sweet on here, I think it's got an outstanding chance. It's number 7. It's called Purple Ice. It's trained by Michael Dodds and ridden by Owen Lewis in this apprentice race, and it's got all the form in the book to win. It's running off a mark of 62, and it ran really well last time off the same mark at Newcastle when Phil Dennis rode it. There was valid excuses for it that day, and not much money for it in the marketplace either, and previously it had gone off at big prices, 33s and 28s. And number 7, Purple Ice, I think, has got all the boxes ticked now and is ready to win. It's a 9-runner apprentice race. It's not a brilliant race. A lot of these horses are quite exposed, but Purple Ice is not one of those exposed types. Lovely grey gelding, only 3 years old, and I'm on each way. I'm going maximum on it. Number 7, Purple Ice. Ran about 5 to 1 with Bet365. I think some of the other bookmakers a little bit shorter, but Bet365 have put it in at Man Alive 5, and that'll do for me there. Number 7, Purple Ice. I like it an awful lot, that horse. As I say, I thought last time out it ran really well, went third behind a horse called Heathen. I was in a pretty strong handicap at Newcastle, and in this 0 to 65 race it looks to have an outstanding chance, and I'll be bitterly disappointed if it's not bang there. It was a 0 to 68 last time, and I say a lot of things didn't really go its way that day at Newcastle. I was on the 28th of September. It's been given a bit of time to get over it, and it looks like a winner waiting to happen. Number 7, Purple Ice in the 138 at Newcastle. Okay, so we might as well stay at Newcastle and go to 2 other horses we've got there. The 308, I'm just going to spin that to you now. The 308 at Newcastle is a 1 mile handicap, and the horse I like there is number 9. It's called Russian Virtue, priced at 6 to 1. I know it's fancied. I know the money's already come for it. It was 10 to 1. It's down to 6s. Runs off a mark of 6-0 blind 60. Rebecca Menzies trains it. It's ridden by Paddy Mathers, who rode this horse last time as well. Paddy's got the ride again, and well, one would hope he'll ride a race which will win for us on this one. He's only had 7 winners, Paddy Mathers. Doesn't get too many chances to hit the back of the net, but he could do with this one. Number 9, Russian Virtue, is my idea of the winner here. Ran really well at Redcar last time, although Mathers was on it, 7th of 12. It went off at 12 to 1. It was slow out the gate, and he come through, and well, all I can say is hopefully Mathers will ride a bit better race than he did last time and keep it gathered up and keep it close. And number 9, Russian Virtue, is the one to be on in the 308 at the meeting at Newcastle. Each way, ran about 6 to 1. I do like it an awful lot, and I think it's going to take a lot of beating. Russian Virtue, number 9, 308 Newcastle, for all your doubles, trebles, and your singles, of course. Okay. Let's go to the 520, shall we? And on Saturday, I gave you a horse which won at 20 to 1. In fact, it was bigger than that. It was 22 to 1, backed in to 14 to 1. And the horse was a horse called Furzig, and it was trained by Richard Fahey, good friend of mine. Richard used to train a horse called Sir Sandrovich for me, among many others, and got a lot of time for Richard, a master trainer, great guy, and I think he could have the winner here with number 5, Lady Celia. Lady Celia runs off a really low mark of 62 in a 0 to 65. He's got his go-to winners man on it, Ocean Ore, and I think this case of it going down from a 0 to 70 to a 0 to 65 will be enough to get this one and to do the business. Richard Fye, obviously a real brilliant and astute trainer, former jump jockey, of course, Richard. But number 5, Lady Celia, looks to have everything going for her. She's a nice mare. She's dropped in the weight. She's dropped in grade. And it's a good bit of placing by Richard. And I think Fahey will train the winner there. Number 5, Lady Celia, each way, good price, banker each way material. And that's in the 5:20 at Newcastle, which leaves 1 to go. And that's up at Kempton or down at Kempton, wherever you are. And I'll give you that now. And then I'll be back to you at 6 o'clock tomorrow. Now, at 6 o'clock tomorrow will be Tuesday night. And we are racing at Navan. And I will be having a 100-to-1 double on this line tomorrow at Navan. 100-to-1 double on 2 horses, and you know how many winners are backed at Navan. Some huge winners, some 16-to-1s, 20-to-1s, all sorts of fancy prices. And I expect to cane the bookies big time. So be sure to make a date with me at 6 o'clock, and that's on tomorrow, on Tuesday, for Wednesday's action. Right, I'm going to give you this final bet now, which runs in the 8 o'clock at Kempton Park. And it's an interesting horse. It's number 5 on your card. That horse is called Escape Free. Escape Free, trained by Harry Dunlop and ridden by David Probert. It's running in a handicap for the first time, nursery, or handicap, I beg your pardon, and it runs off a mark of 67 and stepping back up in trip from a mile, and it's going over 1 mile 3 tomorrow night at Kempton Park. Looks to have a fantastic chance. David Probert has been booked to ride it. He did ride it on its second time out when it ran at Kempton, 4th of 5, went off at 18-to-1. It's got a handicap mark now. It's only had 3 runs, proverbial 3 runs. They've got it handicapped off 67. That looks potentially very lenient indeed in a 0-70. And I think Harry Dunlop can get himself a winner here, and David Probert another one, and number 5 Escape Free is the one I like very much indeed. Never moved a muscle on it last time up, extra crouch, finished 3rd of 9, never moved a muscle on it. It's ready, 3rd of 9 at Lingfield. It's on the all-weather back at Kempton, and that'll do for me. So there we go. You've got Duke of Lega in the 130 Garton, just looking down them. You've got Tasty in the 330 Garton, 2 Irish horses which seem sure to run big races for you tomorrow. Richard Fahey, 5:20 at Newcastle with Lady Celia. Escape Free, just told you about that, handicap for the first time, 8 o'clock at Kempton. Russian Virtue, the money's coming for it already. Paddy Mathers could get himself a winner there in the 308 Newcastle. I like that one a lot. And Purple Ice, I'm all over that. I've gone maximum around about 5-to-1. I think that could be one of the gambles of the day in that 138 at Newcastle. That's it from me to you. Sayonara. Have a great day. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow.